Yo, what's up? Today we got a torrent, or barrage as a tourist would say, of updates and news. Yes, most of them good, one though very bad. So we need to take a deep, detailed look to not get tricked by Gaijin. Yes, because there's always this looming doom hiding in the shadows. So first the good stuff. The very bad and stupid booster limitation, which just punished normal players because a bunch of cheaters cheated, and that disallowed you using too many boosters at once, and it limited basically how much experience you can get in a game, and also indirectly nerfed all the boosters, because since boosters are always expiring, and since this nerf limited the amount and speed of how many boosters, how fast you can use them, well, boosters lost value. Because definitely more boosters were wasted now in the last days and weeks than before this change. But, obviously, since everyone hated it, and people especially hate being punished for something someone else did, which is the worst way to run a company, to punish your players for something that a bunch of cheaters did. And those cheaters were banned, alright, good. Then why the hell are the normal players being punished? Yeah, it's the same as with the minus 20% penalty that if you leave games, no veteran player cares about it, but new players care, but new players get punished. Yeah, so, and it's just too much nonsense constantly with Gaijin. And Gaijin had to admit now that this was a ridiculously bad idea. And it's gonna be, well, the nerf is gonna be nerfed, so I guess you can call it a buff of boosters. You will, after this change in a few days, I guess, you will be able to activate as many boosters as you want until a boost bonus limit of 500%. I would say it's fine. I would say, though, why not 1000? I mean, the cheaters used something like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands percent or whatever. Well, yeah, then 1000 is not a problem for normal people. Yeah. And I've heard complete brain rot arguments about that. Oh no, but people then would be able to go to custom games and cheat there and or just play the games in a way that they farm experience, and then they even with 500% boosters, it's still too much. First of all, why the hell does some random on the internet care about how much experience other people get? Like, dude, let people have just fucking don't mess with other people's lives. First problem. Secondly, if all of these problems only came up because they were related to custom games and a bunch of randoms abusing custom game mechanics. Alright, you know how you remove that? Just simply give a minus 50% nerf to experience gain from custom games. Ta-da! Now you don't need all of this nonsense. And if you still think it's dangerous, Gaijin, well, then just give a limit to 5,000 to 10,000. Well, at least 10,000, at least 1,000 should be the lowest. Yeah? So 500 is still ridiculous. And of course, Gaijin didn't mention that it nerfs the value of boosters, and more boosters are expiring now, which is bad for players, obviously. Like, after this, and a long time ago, I completely stopped caring about boosters. Obviously, if I see, alright, I'm in the mood for a good game, obviously I'm going to activate my boosters. And obviously, if I see, alright, my boosters are going to expire in 3 hours, yeah, okay, I'm just going to jump out. If I can save, like, many boosters, yeah, why not? Play one game at least, alright, but all of this nonsense just demotivates players to play, to keep on playing. Together with all other nonsense of the last week. So yeah, this wasn't a good idea by Gaijin. Nope, not at all. And yeah, now this is an improvement. Certainly an improvement. I recommend Gaijin improve it to 1000%, not 500, but okay. I don't think Gaijin's gonna listen. Now, then the other good news, and doesn't even have to do with Gaijin. I finally finished my shop now. And if you take a look at the shop, you're gonna see 2 very cool t-shirts. Took a while to finalize the design since I did it myself, and to complete all the organizational stuff. And ta-da, now you can get an American and a German themed funny meme t-shirt. And I'm gonna work on other nations too. in the coming weeks, though it's quite hard to get a perfectly fitting joke as on these two t-shirts for the other nations. But yep, I'm searching for good ideas. I already have a few, I just need to draw them and blah blah. So yeah, you're gonna see more. And if you click on the store link, in the next days there will be not just t-shirts but also hoodies with the same motifs and some other things. So yeah, check them out. I made sure they are high quality in terms of materials. They feel very nice when you wear them, and they look very nice on your body. So this is not the usual slop you can get everywhere. No, this is the good stuff, the stuff I would wear myself too. So yeah, check it out. You're gonna love them. Absolutely guaranteed. Now, this was the other good news. Now, what is the bad news? I can't postpone it forever. Well, Gaijin, after thinking, yeah, that was too much good stuff in the last days, too many good news, we need to throw in something bad and stupid, because we're Gaijin and we always need to fuck up. This is literally the way of Gaijin. And this is why this company is just, there's something wrong with this company. Well, there are many things wrong with this company, because it simply cannot go 1 week without fucking up. It's not like companies like Microsoft that constantly fucks up too, but the market cap of Microsoft still is constantly growing. The impact of Microsoft and the control of Microsoft over the business world is still expanding, because every time Microsoft fucks up, it still does something positive that significantly hypercompensates the bad stuff. So let's say Microsoft makes a mistake for, let's say, 2 billion, then Microsoft makes something positive, reasonable for 5 billion, and overall it balances it out. Well, it's still, I would say, a bad way to conduct business and be a company, but it's not like it hurts the business overall. Or and also not that it hurts people overall, because people who don't want Windows 11, I, for example, don't use Windows 11, well, they can just use other stuff. And the business people who profit from Microsoft's products, well, they keep on profiting and everyone's happy. Yeah, so that's fine. But what's happening here with Gaijin, it's just stupid business, because when a few days ago we talked about the really cool update or the promise that premium squads are gonna get perk point adjustments. Yes, because many premium squads in the game, especially the old ones, had absolutely ass perk points. Not just that many come with ridiculous nerfs like -2 red, which locks you out of getting vitality as an ability. No, many of them also had just overall a very bad sum of perk points. In combination with the fact that these squads were weak themselves, because they had barely any good, well, they barely had enough firepower. For example, every foreman squad is just ass. These squads had to be buffed, and Gaijin had to be forced to do it too, because people kept telling Gaijin to finally do it, and Gaijin kept resisting, because some bum at Gaijin thinks, oh no, premium squads are too strong. No, and these squads were so small, 4-man, 5-man, that they were just unplayable. And most importantly, even if a squad has a good weapon, yes, most of these weapons aren't that good, because the power creep in the tech tree was insane. Something like all of those premium PPSH versions in the premium squads, they are simply irrelevant, because the PPSH got completely out-crept, power-crept, and if you play PPSH at BR5 now, you're nerfing yourself, because the Fedorovs and the AS-44s got insanely overbuffed. And this is true for basically all nations across all BRs. So premium squads just got ridiculously nerfed, and the truth is, most of them are straight up unplayable if you care about power. Now, what completely keeps premium squads from being really competitive, for the most part, is that almost none of them have radio men. If it's any type of fighting squad that's based on just assaulters, engineers, riflemen, machine gunners, and so on, yeah, you get a bunch of those, and then you get 1 or 2 engineers. If you get lucky, you get 2. But there's no radio man. And this is the biggest thing that people overlook. A radio man, on average, will get you how much? 5 to 10 kills? If you're a really good, careful player, more. This is more kills than you get on average with one more soldier. But so this is already a significant nerf. And then you also have these squads being all very small, which is another significant nerf. And yeah, so at the end of the day, even the good premium squads, if you see me playing in streams, I obviously try to play these special fancy squads so you have something interesting to look at. Though I always notice, if I just had a standard self-made assaulter squad, a standard self-made rifle squad, and a standard self-made machine gunner squad, these squads would be always better. Literally always, because I would be always able to call artillery, I would be always able to build ready points, and I would be always able to fight. And I always have the flexibility to do exactly what's good in the current situation. Premium squads don't give you that. Yeah, they have the flexible engineers, but here's the problem. If you're playing normal games, balanced teams, then yeah, engineers are great and fun. But if the games are imbalanced, if there's too much sweat on the enemy side because there's a stack and you're just playing normally, or your team is full of bots and the other team isn't, then you don't have the time to engineer. Even if you're the best engineer player in the world, most of the time you simply cannot really do engineering because you constantly have to fight and shoot, which also isn't too fun to play in the long run because you obviously want to do different things, not always the same stupid thing. So yeah, by the way, this dude has a very cool looking uniform. Like, look at these color patterns. I just noticed, very nice. It's a Brit Bonk, I think, or it's the British Commando with the Thompson, the suppressed Thompson. Yeah. Well, so yeah, that's the problem. These premium squads simply are way weaker than many people think, and then Gaijin thinks. And this is the important part. Some bum at Gaijin has some severe perversion with premium squads. Because there's someone who insists on simply nerfing premium squads. And I think, dude, this is a company that makes money almost only with selling premium squads. Now, your premium squads have to be, optimally speaking, 10-15% stronger than tech tree squads. And then everything's fine. Because obviously, you cannot expect people to pay money, especially lots of money on overpriced items, if they are not stronger than tech tree. But they obviously shouldn't be too much stronger because otherwise, oh no, it's pay to win, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so the balance is around 10-15%. This is quite the perfect setup. The problem is, almost all premium squads in the game are -20, -40, -50%. Even the squads that I constantly play on streams, even they are usually -20, -30% compared to what I just could build myself in a tech tree army. If you're an old subscriber, if you watched my games of my first year that I was on YouTube, I was basically purity maxing by not playing any premium squads. Even the ones I had like 5 to 10, because I oftentimes bought the bundles when they came out. I even started forgetting that I have those squads because I just, by attitude, I was only playing self-made squads because I wanted only to play the stuff that I made myself. And when I started switching over and collecting premium squads, I noticed, wait, alright, they are fun and cool, but they're simply weaker. Every time I play them, it's weaker than what I did before. And this problem got worse now, because this was long before a lot of power creep. And yes, those small buffs that these squads received is nothing compared to the power creep that the tech tree received. So this is the big problem. Gaijin is simply straight up wrong in its perspective, that premium squads, oh no, they would be too strong if we do this what we promised. So for those who didn't read yet, Gaijin says, yeah, it will not just do what it promised a few days ago by just deleting the negative perk points. So if you have, let's say, -2 green, -1 red, and +6 yellow, it would keep the 6 yellow, but it would delete the minuses. So the -2 and -1 would be deleted. So instead it would just be +0, +0, and then +6. Ta-da! Now instead of having just 14 green and 15 red, you would get 16, 16, which is the standard baseline, and then +6 on the yellow, so 22 yellow. Alright, sounds fine, sounds fair. But Gaijin says, oh no, this would be too strong. This would end the balance in the world, and then World War III breaks out. So we have to stop it, and we have to nerf this. So Gaijin, by the way, the language here isn't precisely clear, because Gaijin still isn't sure, blah blah, or Gaijin wants to keep everything open. This is why I even bothered writing 2 comments in Reddit, link below by the way, to just say, okay Gaijin, don't be stupid, just don't fucking be stupid, don't do the stupid thing, just do what you promised, do what's the right and good thing, do the thing that's fun, do the thing that gives players more quality for their money, and do the thing that everyone already expects and wants. And stop listening to a bunch of bumfucks who don't understand anything, and who, well, just stop listening to the idiots. Just stop. So, yeah, well, the problem is here, specifically saying, for many squads, Gaijins are now, some squads will have plus 14 yellow, and no, and then 0-0, and this will be too strong. Alright, I looked at these squads, which are very few. These squads are still weaker than a perfectly optimized Tech Tree squad. So Gaijin, what the fuck do you want? Stop being stupid. The most extreme cases, yeah, like the super extreme cases, they are still weaker than the premium and than the Tech Tree stuff. You're still not reaching the plus 10, plus 15% that you should have as a target when it comes to quality of premium squads compared to Tech Tree stuff. You're still not reaching it. The only squads that can actually be better than the Tech Tree are the vehicle squads, because obviously an overpowered plane, overpowered tank will be straight up better than the Tech Tree stuff, if it's not included there. So yeah, okay, but obviously here's the funny part. For vehicles it doesn't matter that much, but for a long time Gaijin and some other also people had the position that, oh yeah, perks don't matter that much, and yeah, okay, then why don't you buff them? Because here's the problem, this is the last thing now for the end. Gaijin doesn't understand. Well, there's no really professional worker at Gaijin who understands marketing or business psychology, because Gaijin constantly mixes negativity with positivity, but it doesn't understand that negativity always has a stronger coefficient in terms of how people perceive it and how they react to it. So the standard measured negativity coefficients in basically across the world in all experiments when people's reactions to something were measured were around between 2.4 to 2.5. So simply said, if something good happens to you, you're gonna be happy, and you're gonna be +1 happy. If the same thing but bad happens to you, you won't be -1 happy or sad. No, you will be -2.4 or 2.5. And you can even measure it. If someone finds $1, he will be obviously happy by the amount of +$1. But if someone loses $1, he will not be sad by -$1. No, he will be sad by -$2.50. This is the negative. This is the additional increased negativity coefficient of human psychology. Now, guess what? All of this taking away of players constantly is causing people to just be fatigued, being angry, being frustrated, and just not wanting to buy or play. Because you're constantly attacking players with stupid negativity. Stupid negativity that just shows that the company doesn't have professional, intelligent people working in it. Because this is literally, I don't know, it's not even master level. It's just, I guess most MBAs who aren't the smartest people in the world, by the way, even they, I guess, have that in bachelor, in some bachelor modules. This is literally basic knowledge, if you're a professional in any field, when it comes to business interaction with people. But no, Gaijin constantly drips negativity. And once again, even if Gaijin's argument with these perk points was true, the perk points have a very small impact on the overall power level. Unless you have hard nerfs, well, then they have a strong negative impact. But if you buff these soldiers this way, it won't make them overpowered. No, it will just make them playable. Most squads are so underpowered, they need desperately every buff they can get. And these buffs won't make them all of a sudden strong or good, but they will make them at least playable and less annoying. And the good squads, well, they will be a little bit better, alright, but it still won't change much. They will still be worse than the tech tree stuff. I'm sure Gaijin doesn't have a single squad in the shop that would become overpowered or would become significantly better than a tech tree stuff. Not a single one. Not a single infantry squad that I would say, alright, I would play over something I would build myself for free in the tech tree. Not a single one. So, go figure. There's no fear of no danger or risk of power creeping too hard. But simply keeping negativity, keeping these nerfs, they are completely unnecessary. Once again, this creates these negative coefficients. And people just say, oh, damn it, why doesn't my squad get buffed? Why doesn't this get buffed? And Gaijin is notorious, it has a long history for being incapable of managing balance and power levels. I don't even need to prove that to you, just read the headlines of my last, 50 videos of the news updates or whatever, and you will see most of it is Gaijin fucking up balance. Gaijin fucking up, Gaijin nerfing something, Gaijin of course making things worse for players. Yeah, and then usually 3-4 months later Gaijin goes back on what it did and tries to damage control stupid decisions, and oh, tada, if Gaijin had just listened from the start, this wouldn't have happened. And it's always the same, and people are getting fucking fatigued. And once again, it's the same stupidity again. Another stupid nerf. Why the hell another stupid nerf? Just stop it. Just fucking stop it. Yeah, just fucking stop it. And to end on a positive note, it was confirmed that it is indeed the Manchuria campaign. Yes, the guessing game is over, because if you scroll down low enough here, you will see the confirmation, and it was also posted everywhere now, so yeah, it's confirmed. The next campaign is Manchuria. So, yep, don't question the elevated one, because I've been literally shilling Manchuria for 1 year already. Yep, for almost 1 year since the start of the year, I've been saying, okay, we need Manchuria for the queue, for the server queue mechanism alone. We need Manchuria, and it's also like, I personally would love to see Finland, which, if you add Finland, by the way, you can also let Finland play versus Germans and versus Soviets. Tada, great, for the queuing times and balance and player numbers. And after that, I would love the Poles, because, oh, guess what? You can also let the Polish play against Germans and Soviets. So once again, another flexible nation. Though I think the Polish are more important than the Finns, especially because they're literally 39, whereas the Finns aren't necessarily. So, yeah, now that we're gonna get Manchuria, I think the Gaijin should focus on coding the Finns, the Polish. Maybe even with cavalry, which would be great, though I heard it's very hard to code, and this means for Gaijin it's impossible to code, so yeah. But yeah, this is gonna be good. Manchuria definitely, Gaijin finally avoided the landmine of doing some stupid stuff like, oh, another Germans versus Soviets map. Oh, right, because we ain't got enough of those. Yeah, but yeah. So I'm happy that it's Manchuria, because this is exactly what the game needed, and it's definitely going to improve the game now. Now, in the next days, we're going to see more spoilers of the map, because right now we obviously only saw very generic images, and we're going to see more precise ones, and I can't wait to get deeper into what we're going to get. So yeah, also we're going to likely get some new mechanic, because this year didn't bring any new mechanics. So yep, can't wait to see what's going to happen there. Alright, let me know what you think, and of course, check out the link, the Reddit link, and just write your opinions there. By the way, this last short thing, this message here is, this is by the way not how you collect data. This is a very bad message combined with a good message. Guess what? These likes are irrelevant. They're mixed data, they're worthless, because you have two contrary elements in your post, and then you can't know whether people upvote for this or what they're exactly doing. So yeah, in Reddit the data is more precise, because here they don't send any downvotes. On Reddit In Reddit, you see the mix of up and down votes. So, yeah, just... I'm afraid Gaijin will get the stupid impression, and Gaijin will get... I said Gaijin doesn't understand even data and statistics. Gaijin will think, oh, people upvoted this post, so we want... So the stupid players want the nerf and penalty. Yeah, they want more penalties. They want more ass clapping. No, Gaijin, stop being stupid. Just listen to reasonable opinions and be happy that you're gonna make more money and gonna have more players and gonna make more players happy. Yeah, so... Yep, Gaijin, don't fuck it up. Alright, and you, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video and share it with others. So, stay informed. And until soon, goodbye.